Welcome to WinSouls TV. This is your host, Jeff Thomas, and I'm going to piggyback off of my last message. As I was driving one day, the Lord spoke to me. He said that my word is living. He said that my word is living, and I was just like, well, I know that, Lord. Like, what, where are you going with this? And he said to me, my word is living, and everything that is living is always in motion, even people that are paralyzed. And I thought about that for a second, and then immediately I got a picture in my mind of a heart beating. I got a picture in my mind of a brain pulsating, lungs breathing in and out. So everything that is living, think about a tree, think about grass, think about anything that is living. It is always in motion. It is always growing. It is always moving. So if that's the case, his word is living, even though it just seems like it's a book. That's not the case. It is the living word of God. In John 1:1, the word says, in the beginning there was the word was with God, and God is the word. And so if that is the case, then we are to fill ourselves with this word and then go out actively out of the living word, because we are also living as a representation of this word, and let's get after it. We are to actually be preaching the word of God. And I can't stress this enough, because a lot of us are too afraid to be taken out of our comfort zones. A lot of us are too afraid to be taken out of our comfort zones. But if it is that we believe that all things are possible to those who believe, where is that line where we say, no, I'm going to put my foot down and I'm going to start being obedient to the word? Now, like I say, I'm not judging anybody, but I am urging you and pushing you, if you will, to move closer to actually doing the word. And this is when you start getting experiences with the Lord. A lot of people want these spiritual experiences. They want specific things with God, but they're not willing to actually do what the word says. They just want all of the gifts without necessarily doing anything that he has told us to do. Now, it's wrong for us to try and just do the word so that we can have the spiritual gifts, and the Lord knows those specific things. It's wrong for us to actually do the word with expectation of only experiencing God. We are to do the word coming from a place of love for him, because the word, in my personal opinion, does not mean anything to any Christian until he loves Jesus. And why do I say that? Well, what does the word say? What does the word say? The word says that if we love God, if we love Jesus, if we love the Lord, then we will obey him, right? So coming from a place of love for God, you naturally want to please the person that you love. Think about the woman that you're in a relationship, or your husband. You naturally want to take care of the specific things that they need, as well as yourself. And they reciprocate that. I mean, it just goes back and forth. Well, it's the same thing here. Even though you're not doing it for the expectation of receiving something in return, you're doing it simply for the fact that you love that person. And because of the fact that you are loving the person, because of the fact that you are pouring your whole entire being into that individual person, you are receiving that back, because they're doing the same thing for you. Except it's uneven with God, because as soon as we take a step, he takes 10. As soon as we take a step, he takes 2. He will always, you cannot outgive God, ever. And so with that being said, actively ask the Lord, and this is a challenge. Most people are too afraid to minister to people, talk about God, and I'm talking about Christians, But it's time for us to start stepping out of that baby phase of Christianity where we're just listening to sermons and reading the Bible and actually step into actually doing the word. And so with that said, let's start being active. We are living. Let's be the living representation of God. And so with that said, what we can do, I used to ask, matter of fact, I still do, ask the Lord before you leave in the morning to give you 3 divine appointments. Now, what is a divine appointment? A divine appointment is someone that the Lord puts in your corner to minister to, or you cross paths with that individual so that you can minister to them. Now, with that said, ask the Lord to bring someone in your corner with a lesson that he has already brought you through in the past. That way you can use the word and that spiritual or the experience as well as the word to help that person along to speak whatever it is that the Lord wants you to speak to that person. Now they may have been praying for specific types of confirmation or specific things that need to be said. And sometimes the Lord wants to light a fire up under their butt, and they will use you to do that. And he will use you to do that. But with that said, ask him to bring someone so that you can cross paths with and you can minister to them. You guys be blessed. And let me know in the comment section down below how that works for you. Please share your testimonies. Have a good one.